Welcome to the Mulligan Menace. Today we got Live or Die Reanimator, mono black deck. But before we get into the deck tech, please hit that subscribe button below. Really does help the channel. A fairly new channel, trying to grow it as much as I can. Post new videos every day, so if you want to see the latest content, hit subscribe. Also, if you could like the video and even comment below what you'd like to see in the future, I'd really appreciate that. All right, we call this Live or Die Reanimator. It's mono black. We do have multiple ways to reanimate. We have 4 of the Zombifies and 2 of the Live or Die. This Live or Die is kind of a newer addition for me into the Reanimator decks. You don't typically see the Live or Die. If you do see, you see that 1/1 creature card where you sack it for 4 and pull in from your graveyard, a creature from your graveyard. I actually really do like the Live or Die in this situation, in this deck, because you also have that destroy target creature, which is really strong. Sometimes you just need to be able to destroy a creature, and you can't if you don't have removal. So having that ability on this cards of be able to do either of those is really helpful. The other really neat thing about this deck that you don't typically see in the Reanimators, we have a knife trick in here. The neat thing with the knife trick, a single mana does 3 damage to a creature, and you can discard a card. Obviously, you're discarding all of your targets, your Bahamets, your Terror Eaters, your Ardens, Massacre Worm we have in here as well. You could even discard your Overlord if you want to pull that from your graveyard. So it allows you to do all your discards with that. We do have a of the Tiny Bones, kind of neat. We're not obviously a discard deck, but it is a way to discard, make your opponent discard a card, and then also you discard a card, it's what you want to do to get these guys in the graveyard. You do have a Bitter Triumph, so you can discard a card as well. The issue with Bitter Triumph and Knife Trick is obviously they have to have creatures. That's always a downfall when you're playing a control deck. So sometimes that Tiny Bones really does help to get something in your graveyard. And then we also have something else you don't typically see in a Reanimator deck, Collector's Vault. If they are not playing creatures or they don't have creatures on the field, Collector's Vault and Tiny Bones will allow you to get this stuff into your graveyard. Not only does it allow you to get it in your graveyard, but it also allows you to ramp so you can get up to those Zombifies and Live or Dies, so you can actually cast those. You also have a single of the Ironclad, another card that allows you to ramp, as well as the Terminus of Return allows you to ramp. So all 3 of those cards really allow you to ramp into casting larger casting cost cards. And what you'll see is you'll also be able to fill your graveyard with the Overlord. But the key is you got Massacre Worm here, which is only 6 mana. With 6 mana, you can actually get up to 6 mana pretty quickly, considering all of the tokens that you're getting off of the Collector's Vault for the treasure tokens, which means you can hard cast this, so you don't even have to worry about Zombify or Live or Die, and you can oftentimes sweep a board with this. So out of nowhere, you can cast a Massacre Worm. You don't even have to have it in your graveyard. It's nice to be able to pull down a 6/5 creature that kills off most of their creatures or all of their creatures. But it also has the ability to come back from your graveyard and do the same thing. Something with your Arden you can trigger to get that. We do have a single of the Virtual of Persistence as well. This is another effect that will allow you to pull anything from your graveyard. It is not hard to get up to 7 mana in this deck, obviously, with all of the Terminus, Ironclads, and then the Collector's Vault. You can get up to that persistence. I believe in the games that I recorded, I did that at least once, if not twice, in those games. And then we just went straight forward with 24 Swamps. We just want to be able to hit our mana when we need to. So it didn't go anything crazy with the land drops on this. But let's get into the gameplay. All right, we got 3 land, a Knife Trick, a Worm we can toss into the graveyard, and a Zombify. Collector's Vault's there too, which is nice. Let's keep it. Oh, they got a Vanguard out. Let's do the Knife Trick here. We'll discard a card. You know what? Second thought. That Massacre Worm will get rid of the Vanguard, so we're going to keep that around. We're going to save the Knife Trick for something that's more urgent. Okay, not worried about that either. We needed a collector's vault down anyways because we don't have land, which is awesome. End turn. We're not going to show him the massacre worm. 2 Zombifies is awesome when we have this and the discard outlet. We want them to drop as many small creatures as they can. Interesting. We'll just trigger this. I don't want to show them that massacre worm yet. This might push them to go wide. We'll just keep ramping. These 2 creatures are not scaring me, so... We're actually to the point where we can just cast Massacre Worm next turn if we need to. We'll see what they end up doing here. Alright, that's a little stronger. Okay, so it's a cat tribal deck. Okay, so we're... Okay, this has Ward 2 on top of it. So if we Bahamut, we need to use that to get that. I think it's important for us to kill this thing. We can always get the worm out. Do I even want to activate this? I think I do. Rather keep the knife trick in hand. That's a pretty good pickup. Let's Zombify. We'll get the Bahamut out. Do this. Yes, we'll pay. Resolve. Auto pay. Next turn. End turn. Okay, Squire, that's probably going to be our next target to kill. Never mind, I think that's going to be. Actually, no. We'll do here because we can do the Massacre Worm. And that takes care of the field. That is nasty. And then they take 8 damage there. And we attack for 9. They're down to 6. Oh, nasty. That ain't gonna do it here. We got 9 flying here. Draw 2 cards. Four, 5, 6. Do they have anything? No. Good game. Alright, we go first. We have 4 land, a Triumph, a Virtue, and a Collector's Vault. Let's do it. If we do get any creatures, we're able to discard them with either the Collector's Vault or the Triumph. Hired Claw. We want to get rid of that right away. Let's Virtue. Okay, show off. We might keep up a triumph. Hmm. Let's just knife trick this. We're going to discard a card. I really don't like doing that because I want to get the 7 mana as fast as I can. But the 3 damage might be very important in this matchup. We're going to pay that. And we still have our Bitter Triumph up. Can take the 3 damage with that. I figure the Nemesis might be coming down. We can get rid of that right now. We'll pay 3 life. Well worth it. All right. Get that. We'll trigger this. This is where I really wish we would have had that extra land. We're going to discard that. Because we're already at 5 here. This would have been 6. That extra land would have been 7. We could have virtued. Okay, my turn to draw. Oh, 5, 6. Let's get this down. We can cast Virtue next turn. So we're like 2 turns away from getting Valgavoth. So that land didn't actually matter that we discarded, which worked out good because we drew quite a bit of land. Okay, that's fine. Okay, 5 damage. Is he going to pump it more? All right, that gets scary. Down to 9. Draw. Down to 8. We'll cast that. Auto pay. Okay, so we're going to get our Valgavoth down next turn, as long as they can't kill us. Okay, we're going to take 2 more damage here. We're going to grab from our graveyard. Okay, we're going to take 2 more damage on the next draw. Oof. If they have, if they draw a burn spell, we're dead. This does have lifelink, so that's like our saving grace. Can't activate Collector's Vault, obviously, because that's going to draw a card. What's cool is we're going to get another creature back. I'll probably like do the Nemesis, maybe. Wow. All right, let's get the Nemesis down. They might be saving. What do they have in their hand? It's an instant speed. Fire magic. Interesting. Okay. We're going to attack just with that. We'll leave one back for blockers. We're up to 11. Four, 5. Okay, trigger. I made the error there. I should have cast fire magic and destroyed both their creatures. But that shouldn't be affecting us too bad. We'll get that out. Because that'll allow us to kill him then. Good game. All right. 3 land. We do have a ramp. We have a live or let die. We have a knife trick to toss the Bahamut. Let's hope they have creatures so that the knife trick can be beneficial. That is perfect. We'll do this. We'll do the knife trick. We'll discard a card. And we're going to discard the Bahamut. Next turn, we'll cast Terminus. And then we'll drop Swamp. Another elf. Oh. Do we just want to do that? Because we're going to be another turn until we get this. Let's just slow them down. Sure, we'll discard our card. Okay. All right. We got the turn 4. Live or let die. That is fine. We can kill that off next turn. Okay. Return that. Kill the Boroid. Gonna draw 2 cards off this next, or 2 turns as well. They can't remove it. All right, good game. Let's look at this. We go first. We have 3 land, 2 Zombifies. We just need a way to discard. Okay, we need like a knife trick, or we need a Collector's Vault, or we need a Bitter Triumph. We got 12 cards, I think, that we can really utilize for that. Heck, I would even take an Overlord. Alright, that's not the worst. That does delay us 1 turn. Alright, they're getting quite a bit of damage in here. I think it would be beneficial for us to get the worm in there first, just in case they have other creatures that they drop. Hold on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, let's do the Arden, because we can get a worm. We can sack the worm. Yeah, let's do it this way. Let's do the Arden. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter, because we can do both. The Arden's better, though, if we have something better than the worm to do. We don't want to show off the worm, too, because we want them to, there we go, put small creatures into play. They got another small creature. Oh, they're just going to pump it? All right. Ooh, see, that might be better. So what we'll do is we're going to activate this ability. We're going to drop that. We're going to zombify Arden. And get the Bahamut. Bahamut's going to trigger. We're going to kill the Higher Claw. And attack in and gain some life. And that was a heck of a turn. We can even cast this just straight out if we want to do that. Otherwise, if they kill Arden, we can get Arden back. Okay, that's fine. And this has lifelink. Interesting. That was a solid draw. But we're just gonna cast the worm. I mean, we are down to 7. This gets rid of their creature. All right, good game. All right, we go first. We do have 2 land, Bitter Triumph. We have Ramp. We got the Zombify. We have a Worm to throw in the graveyard and a Collector's Vault. Let's keep that. This gives us a lot of options here. We do want to draw some land. Would like to draw into an Arden or something too. That would be awesome. Elf. Okay, we're going to slow them down here. We're going to cast the Triumph. We're going to discard a card. Go after the Elf. We'll discard the Worm. Didn't want to see a second Terminus, unfortunately. Really hoping for a land drop, because then we can cast a Collector's Vault as well. Okay, there we go. We'll get this down first, followed by a Collector's Vault. Chances are we're just going to get the Worm down, but we'll see. The Worm by itself doesn't do a whole lot. I guess it can block. Oh, I guess we have reason to get it down now. It might have a counter spell. We will do a Zombify here. It does come down. Okay. Does tap us down for a turn, unfortunately. We can't use that on anything, unfortunately. Kind of want to trigger this. That'll allow us to deliver. Guess we'll see what we draw here for what we discard. I think we'll do that. We are going to impend this. Gives us more options for what's in our graveyard then. Because we're going to cast Live or Die next turn. Well, that's a pretty solid hit. The nice thing is they can't even target it with this unless they sack a bunch of permanents. Oh, let's just hope they don't have a counterspell. All right. We're not going to do attacks. Not with a 2-2 at least. Four, 5. We need to get up to 7 for that. Well, I got a late Drunith here. Okay, they can't target our Volvarath. I suppose. This guy's a beast, so he can't really do that. We can target this with the Triumph. I think we should start looking at another card. Alright, that's pretty good. 4, 5, 6. Let's get... I mean, they only have elves in there. We don't have anything... Undo that. Let's cast that during... Actually, let's just do it now. We'll discard a card. I don't want to lose 3 more life. I'm going to attack in here. They might just block. Let's get this out as well. Okay, so they're going to have to block this turn. If we have removal for the Siren, I think they're just dead. Okay. So he can destroy this thing if he wanted to. Guess to sack 3 creatures to do so. I mean, it's just tapping it down. It's not even destroying it. Okay. I'm going to say no attacks. Let's get this into play. We'll get this into play. And we can sack a creature to this as well. Fortunately, that shuffles in the library. If it went to the graveyard, that'd be nice. I should have just sacked that. Unfortunately, I missed that. Okay. They have to target it again. That's nasty. Do I just sack this? Yeah, I think I do. I mean, we don't have anything crazy that we're going to be grabbing. There's nothing there, so it's just good to have, I guess. Arden. I can attack in with this. I can put this in the graveyard and it comes back. Maybe that's the proper play. We can use this to destroy. Let's just do this. Black, 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 black. Destroy target creature. All right. We're in a really good shape here. All right. Good game. All right, that was Live or Die Reanimator, Mono Black. This was a fun deck to play. I really enjoyed the knife trick. The ability to be able to do something on turn one, whether it was a Tiny Bones or knife trick, was awesome. Obviously, if you're on the play, you're not doing anything, and this is a sorcery. You have to keep that in mind. So there's a lot of times you can't do anything with it anyways. But it is nice to have that capability if you need to. Um, Obviously, anytime they drop like an elf or something, Landloire elf, just Bitter Triumph it, knife trick it, drop your creature into your yard, and then you'll also be able to ramp right after that. Just slows them down enough that allows you to kind of catch up. Virtue of Persistence is also nice because there is that removal spell at the front end of that. So even if you get that in an early draw, it's nice to have to just remove something, and then you can always cast the enchantment part of it later on. So all in all, very strong deck. I think the blue black Demir Reanimator shell of this is probably stronger. But if you want to play a mono black deck and you don't want to waste all the wild cards to get the lands, this is a pretty good deck. And this reuses a lot of the black cards that you'd see anyways in a lot of those things. A lot of people have the Overlords already. Everybody or a lot of people have Terminuses. Sometimes people might have, well, Collector Vaults is only a uncommon. Iron Craig, sometimes we'll have a one-off of that. This is an uncommon, makes it easy. Zombify is an uncommon. Massacre Worm, a lot of these you're not playing full play sets either, so it also makes it easier for you to have those. So there's a good chance that you have one or two of these in your collection. You can kind of mix around with what you have too. Just work with what you have in your collection. You don't have to craft all of these wild cards to play this deck. You can modify it slightly to pick what you want. You're going to want a couple Ardens here. It definitely doesn't hurt to have even more here than two. I thought two actually worked out fairly well because a lot of times you're kind of sitting in a situation where you might just have an Arden in your graveyard, and really Arden by itself is not that awesome. You kind of always want to have a target for it. But a lot of times I'm pulling back Bahamut's or Terror Eaters instead, or even Massacre Worm if they have a lot of smaller creatures on the field. So all in all, fun deck. Like I said earlier, please hit that subscribe button. Really helps a new channel grow. If you want to see the latest videos every day, do that as well. Hit that like button below. And if you want to, please comment also what you want to see in future videos. Thank you. Have a fantastic day.